Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalsabre, and we got some APBA football today. I'm still learning the game, and this is solo mode, and I am started the 1964 AFL season, Kansas City visiting Buffalo. We're going to go into the fourth period now. Buffalo has the ball, but they had a tough third period. The score was 14-13 at halftime, and Kansas City scored twice in the third period, once on an 81-yard return of a punt, and they're up 28-13 at this point in time. Now I do play with the defensive cards, as you can see right here. Buffalo's uh, totals is 39-39, and Kansas is 36-36. So when Buffalo's playing, they're going against the -3 defense there, and so what I was showing you when I wanted to show you what I want to do. So I got that, and now when playing solo, I don't like to have to call the plays for both teams. I have other football games that I don't have to do that in. So I went up and I did a search on the internet, and I looking for APBA solo play calling. And I ran across one gentleman up in our APBA family who said, just use the solo play calling process from second season football, which I do own. So in that second season, there's a card about this big, but there's also a system, and I'll show it to you in a second, that was developed by one of the second season players, approved by Play.com, and it is on their download on their sheet. And what this is the second season solo play calling charts. And as I'll be using this this blue and this red, white die for this. Okay, so for an example, it's 1st and 10. I roll it, I get the number, I go down this chart, and it tells me outside run, inside run, screen, short, medium, or long pass. And then depending on the yardage and so forth, and I'll show it a couple of times to you during the game what it is. So that's one extra die. This is some people don't like this, but that's okay. If they don't like it, because I don't like having to call up plays for it. I want it to be, and the system seems to be coming out fairly even as far as the number of runs and by each player. Then the second thing I do, we're going to say I rolled it, I got an outside run, we'll just say. The second thing I do then, all my runs except for when the quarterback has to run when he's passing, are done by the two backs. So I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I roll one dice. That's a 4, and I would say, okay, this would be an outside run by Quickie Gilchrist. And I just move his card up so I can remind them who it is. Then I go and I do the 2 and it's an 11. So I go in here and it's a run 11 on here. And it's a BG. And we go back to Gilchrist's card for this demo here. And we do 56. 56 on the run. I don't have my glasses on. It's a 24. So we're going over here. We're going to BG 24 on an outside run. And that would be a loss of 1 on the play for a Cookie. Now, when it comes to screen passes, I do it a little, the passes, okay? I got the 3 receivers here. And this will keep changing as it goes. And it'll say, okay, I'll if it's a short pass, I'll throw one and I'll say, okay, 6. Okay, they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be DeBenion on this one. So that would be DeBenion getting the pass on this one. And screen passes, I do them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No 6 on the screen pass. So anyway, that's what I got going here. It's 1st and 10. We're going to get a call here for the Buffalo Bills. Okay, so we got 15. Now look over here onto this chart here. I go down to the first down, 15, and it's an inside run. Okay. All right, so we got an inside run. We're doing an inside run to, I keep throwing them up so I can't see them, to 3. So that's Bobby Smith on the inside run. Let's go to the defensive chart. 43 on the run. Better put my glasses on. 43 on the run is a BG. No, it's a BD. All right. Then I'm going to go back and we'll check Smith. 53 is a 17 on the inside run on a BD 17. That's a 7-yard gain for Bobby Smith. Oh, I just already got this knocked off. Okay. 7 yards. So I'm going to mark it 4, 5, 6, 7. And that will bring up 2nd and 3. That is a full play. So I mark off on the score sheet a full one. I go down here to Smith and I give him 7 yards in the rushing totals. Okay. So then I got all over. So come on, why am I having such a hard time today? 3. Okay, it's right there. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 3. 44. So I would go over here, the same column, because it's second down. 1 if it's first through 10, right? So I'm going down to 44, and they're dropping a screen pass. Okay, so the screen pass, we're going to roll 1 die. It's a 1, so it's going to Bobby Smith. Okay. Now, when I convert it over to the APBA, that'll convert to a short pass. Okay, so here we go to the defensive column, 63. 63 is a BG. I think I just knocked it again. So I'm trying to find something that I can put the more easily identify them. Okay, so it's a BG, but now we're going to Kemp's card here. Okay. 55 on the pass. It's a 17. So we're going short, BG, 17. And it's a 3-yard gain on that screen pass to Smith. And so we're going to have a first down here, 1st and 10. Mark off 1 whole play. Now on this one here, I go up and I mark 3 for Kemp. And then on the passing under Smith, I do 3. Okay, so that's how I play my thing. Here we go. How I play solo. Takes a little bit longer, but I got some space. I can leave things up. Okay, here we go. 62. And okay, Kemp's going to try to go, Kemp's going medium on this one. Okay, and the medium pass. The 6. See how this changes like this? This time it's Ernie Warlick, the tight end. It's going medium. So I'll put it up there a little higher so I know it's medium, not short. Okay, and then I'm going to go 43. 43 is BG. And here's a B, so the index doesn't change. I almost forgot. I might have forgot the index on the last one, okay? Because they're both in the B index. And here we go with back to Kemp's card. 56. Oh boy, I gotta put my glasses on. That's a 20. So we want medium, BG. 20. And that is incomplete. So incomplete passes, we only mark off a half. I go up here to Kemp's, I just draw a thing that he threw an incomplete, and I throw it to Warlick that I get him, he gets one, that he gets also because he was targeted. Okay, so that makes it 2nd and 10 now. I forgot to move the marker back down. So 2nd and 10. 42 on the 2nd and 10. 42, they're going screen again. It's time to go and screen to Bobby Smith. Okay. 42, BG. He's a C, so that doesn't affect. Check my little cheat chart. Yeah, it's still a B. Okay, this is Bobby Smith and it's BG. Short. 25 on Kemp. That's a 6. Short. BG6. That's 15 yards on that screen past the Smith. First down again. Kemp trying to finally get some numbers going for himself here. And there we go, Smith again for 15. Okay, 1st and 10. Vogel's got 2 field goals in this, but they need touchdowns now. We got 1st and 10, 1-1. That's an inside run. It's an inside to Smith. They're working them out here. And they're saving Cookie for the surprise. 52. That's a CD on the run. 21. 24 on the run. Inside 24. CD. And that's a 2-yard gain for Smith. Give myself a little pattern of what I'm doing here. So it's a 2nd and 8. Right down. Smith gets 2 more yards rushing. Okay, 2nd and 8. Uh-oh, 65. We're going to look at this one. Okay. Okay, so 2nd down and 1 through 10 and 8. So we're going to 65. Kemp's going to try to hit them long. They're inside the 30. So for my rapper rules, he's going to have to go medium on this one. Can't go long. Okay, so it's going to go medium. And 6, he's going medium to Bass. Okay, we'll check the defense here. 65 on the pass. That's a AS. Okay. 32. 26. 26 AS. And Kemp is scrambling. So we're going to go to Kemp's card. We're going to do his run column on the outside run. It's not very, very good. Okay, so 15 on the AS outside run. Whoa, AS outside run, 15, 21-yard scramble for Kemp. He had never picked, I don't think he picked up a run, a positive run the whole time. 21 yards. I didn't mark off that last play either. So it's going to be there. 21, yeah, and we're going at the 7, so we're going down to the 6-yard line where it's 1st and goal. 6-yard line, I mean. It's 1st down. Okay. 46. They're doing screen. Oh, no, it's a short. They're doing short. They can't do short inside there. I don't think. Timeout. This mouse ain't worth a darn that I bought, folks. Yes, they can go short. No, and I forgot to do in that last play too. I forgot to flip the page over to the defensive chain or the lines changing there. I have to remember that. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm on right now. I'm playing. We're going to be going short, and I'm counting this between the defense's goal line and the 9-yard line. The goal and the 9. This is the defense's goal. Okay. So we are going short. They can be run anywhere. And they're doing a short to Bass this time again. Okay. The defense is 13. It's a BG, but Bass is a A. Oh no, it's a B. 13 is a BS. So Bass is an A, so that's going to raise that to AS. If I'm playing this wrong, please let me know because I'm learning. Okay, AS, and here's Kemp. 22. That's a 3. Short. 3. AS. Oh, that says it's the first down plus 9. So that's would have been there was no first down plus 9. So that's a 6-yard touchdown scam catch for Bass. All right, let me pause this and get me some admin caught up here. So Buffalo sends Pete Gogolak out there for the extra point attempt. 43, went 43 on his kick, and that's 32. Going down here to 32. And that's an X. What does an X mean on a kick, on an extra point? Timeout. Okay, so Gogolak had his kick blocked. So they didn't get the extra point on it. So Buffalo picks up 6. Now it's 19. The score is now 28-19. And they'll be coming back here down to the 30 to kick off. And we're going to do Kodalak again on the kickoff. That is a half play on the block kick. Okay, 56. Okay, 26. Okay, kickoffs from 30, 26. We're going 44-yard lines, and then the offensive 7 is going to get it. So 44, we're going 10, 20, 30, not very much, 44. Okay. And then their offensive 7, let's see who that is for them. Walt Corey. Timeout. That was Walt Corey. It was a short kick, one of their middle linebackers playing up out here. So we're going to be going to him. 16. And the run. 26. Kick return 26. He returns at 12 yards. Okay, Kansas offense on the field. Len Dawson, Abner Haynes, and Mac Hill. The receivers are Reggie Carolyn, Fred Arbanis, and Frank Jackson. Okay, they got a 36 offense against a 39 defense, so they're playing against a +3 defense there. And it is first down 4. Kansas City with the lead. Want to eat some clock up with that, but not that way. I can tell that right off the 61. He's a little mad. They're coming out medium right off the bat. It's going to go to 6. It's going to go to Frank Jackson. Let's check the defense. Oh, the defense is a C, D, but he's a A, so that's going to raise it 1. That's going to raise it to a BD. Yeah. Okay. Here we go to Dawson. 53. Uh-oh, it's a 9. BD, right? Yeah, BD, medium. I got to get on the right page again. Timeout. Okay, I didn't get a timeout there, but anyway, I'm on the defense. Between the defense is 31, the offense is 15. We got BD 53, which I looked at over here was a 9, and it's on the medium, so we're going B 9 BD. And that's incomplete. So get a half penalty there. It'll be second down, 2nd and 10. Dawson with an incomplete pass to Jackson. I don't know how much stats I really will keep for the rest of the season, but I wanted to see how the system breaks out as far as the number of runs the guys get, so forth and that. So 2nd and 10 for Kansas City. Oh, 1-1. Here we go with an inside run. It's an inside run to Mac Lee this time. Let's check the defense. 63 and the run is BD. Okay, there we go with Hill. 26. The run is 22 inside. 22 BD. And it's a 3-yard gain for Hill. This is a big down for Buffalo here. Hill gets 3 yards in the rush. So it's 3rd and 7. So this is, I'll show you, we'll use a different column now on that chart. Uh-oh. Okay, so now we're going 3rd and 4. I've been using mostly here, 3rd and 4, but we're going over here to 7 and 9. And then we're going down to 61. 61, he's going medium pass. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? All right, let's see he's going to. 6. See how this keeps changing then? Fred Arbanis. It's going medium. Let's check the defense. 16. It's an AS. AS medium for Dawson. 45. It's a 16. AS medium, and it is incomplete. No, I didn't give that last one either. Boy, so that was incomplete. That was Dawson to Arbanis, incomplete. Okay, 4th down. They're going to bring their punter out. Gerald Wilson. Oh, wrong pile. Let's haven't quite got myself controlled on these other guys. Here's Gerald Wilson right here is their punter. Okay, we're going to go over to the kicking chart. It's going to be punting from the offense is 42. So this is why I don't get anybody that can help me out here. Punting from the defense is 25 to the 50. Okay. The next column is the offense is 49 to the 15. Oh, I guess that's the one we'll be using right there then. 40. The offense is 49 to their 15. Okay, here we go. Wilson 61 on the kick, 32. And the punt 32. It's 40 yards, and it's fielded by D10, and then there's a J. So 40, so we got 9, 29, 39, 40 yard on the punt. Okay, Wilson's done. Give him a 40-yard punt there. D10 for Buffalo. Eugene Sykes. Why do I have Horace Clark? I'm looking at the wrong things on some cards then. Okay, let's get Horace Clark out here. Yeah, he's a TAP. Okay, so we got Horace Clark. We don't remember what that J is stands for. Let's see what that J stands for. It could be an injury. I'm not playing injury. The J. Yeah, it is an injury. I'm not playing injuries today. All right, so we're going Clark on the return. This is a okay. It's on the kick return, I guess. 23. And his run is 32. Oh, punt return right there. There it is. F3J. Timeout. And I'm not playing the penalty, so I'm back. I got that whole punt figured out. There was no yardage on the play at all. So it's 1st and 10 for Buffalo. I'm using the chart from the fifth offense is 15 to the defense is 30. Okay. 31. Okay. So it's 1st and 10 for Buffalo here. There's still plenty of time left on the clock here. And here we go on 1st and 10. 52, 52. He's going short again. And this time it's going to be to 4. Ernie Warlick, the defense. Warlick is a B. 53. 53 is a BS. Put my pencil up there, just for me to remind me where it is. I get lost sometimes. You guys watch me enough to know how I get lost. All right, so here we're going to Kemp and a BS short. Ooh, look out. It's a pass. 1 BS short. Look out. That baby is gone. That's touchdown time. Woo. That is 81-yard touchdown pass from Kemp to Ernie Warlick. They had him fooled on that one. I'm gonna mark that down, Warlick. All right. And so we got Gogolak coming back out. His last PAT was blocked. Plenty of time, so they're not going to go for 2 at this point in time. I think they're going to. Okay, so here's the point after 62. Let's get Kodalak out here. There's Pete 62, and the kick is 20. Oh, okay. I never find this chart. There it is, up there, 20, and the kick is good. So they got 7 more. So it's 28 to 26. All right, so Kodalak's going to be kicking off. He's going to be kicking off from his 30 that way. I always run them the same direction so I don't get mixed up. So Kodalak's kicking off from the 30, 42. It's a 18. Oh, that's a boomer. 74 yards by the offensive 10. I think that's in the end zone. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 74. So that's a touchback. It's going to be coming out to the 20. Oh, I got the foot into that one. He was one of the first soccer style kickers in football. He did have a big foot. All right. Pete going back out to the bench. Buffalo's offense goes off the field. Okay, and here comes Len Dawson in the game. Feeling a little bit of pressure right now. Seeing their lead diminishing here. 1st and 10. Here we go. 16. They're going to call an inside run. Need to get something off the clock. Inside 4. This is the Mac Hill this time. Okay, defense. 65. Uh-oh. CG. No, 65 is a BS. I'm looking at BS. Okay. Inside. I'm on the right chart. Yes, I'm on. No, I'm not on the right chart. Get on the right chart. Inside. Mac Hill. 63. That's a 24. Inside. BS. BS. And that's a 2-yard gain for Matt Hill. Get the mark off a whole minute on the clock, or a whole time on the clock. Matt Hill rushing, it's 2 yards. This game's all over. I'll do some. I'll do a timeout and I'll give you some of the final stats and everything. So I got 2 yards. 2nd and 8. 44. We're on the same chart. This time they're going screen, which will be short on the APBA charts. Screen 5. 1, 2. They're doing a screen to the tight end, which is short. Okay, he's a C. 61. So it's BS. I'm going short. Here's Dawson. Uh-oh. 22. 22, that's a 5. 5 short BS. Oh, that's a first down plus 5. So it's a 13-yard gain. 8, 13. Okay, mark off the minute. We got Dawson for 13 yards. And Caroline for 13 yards. Okay, 1st and 10. Buffalo defense let that one caught by surprise on that one. 43. He's going to go screen again. This time he's going screen to Abner Hayes. This will be short. Let's check the defense. 14's a BD, but Abner Hayes is an A. So that's going to raise that to an AD. If I'm playing that right. Let me know in the remarks, gang. I'm learning this. Uh-oh. And it's 2. I got the dice rolling like crazy here. It's 2 AD short. 2 AD. Oh, that's 43 yards on that one. Wow. Okay, there's 5, 15, 25, 35, 40. 1, 2, 3. Buffalo's defense is sleeping big time right now. Okay, so we're going 43 yards for Dawson on that one. That was Abner Haynes that snuck out of there. That's his 4th one. That's a big one. He's caught a 1 yard, a 3 yard, a 5 yard, and that was a big 43 yarder right there. It's 1st and 10. Let's see where I'm at now on the field. Do I change this? Between the deep, no, between the, I do change it, I believe it. Okay, I'm going to be going between the defenses 10 and 30, between the, where am I at? The 22. I have a hard time figuring this one out. Between the defense is 31 and the offense is 15. So the offense is 15, is back here in the 31, so that's not there. Between the 14, between the defenses 10 and 30. That's where we're at. That's the chart we're on. I'm going to learn this. To be honest with you guys, when I bought this over a year ago, I play APBA baseball, basic. This really intimidated me, but I made my mind up this year that I'm going to do it, develop a way I can play it, and the way I will learn it. So please bear with me. Okay, here we go. First and 10. 23, and they're going to do an inside run. They're doing it to 4, so that's an inside run to Hill. Let's check the defense. 14. V, D on the run. Okay, Hill. 42. It's a 16. Inside 16. B, D. There's another 6 yards gained. Plus they're eating up the time off the clock. Okay, and that was Hill on a run. Okay, 2nd and 4. Am I still on that same one? I'm still on that same chart. 2nd and 4. 44. 2nd and 4. Okay, we're going screen, which means short in Apple language. See who they're doing it to. 2, they're doing it to Abner Haynes. I like Abner, I guess. Here's the defense. 34. BG, Abner's an H. I changed it to an AG. And we go to Dawson. 24. 17 AG. Short. 17 AG. AG. And that's two more yard completion. 1, 2. Okay, it's going to make it 3rd and 2. Let's check them off of there. And it was another pass from Dawson, 2 yards. Hayes. Okay, 3rd and 2. Oh boy, a big number too. It's going to be a surprise one. 64. 3rd and 2. Short. They're going short. See who they're throwing to. 3. They're throwing to Reggie Caroline short here. Let's check the defense. 61. BS. Caroline's a C, so they ain't going to fit. So it's BS on the Dawson's card. 61. 16. BS. 16 BS. That's 1 yard. Whoa, 1 yard. It's going to make it 4th down. Okay. Mark the time. Dawson for 1. Caroline for 1. Okay, 4th and 1. You know they're going to send their field goal team out because that's going to force Buffalo to score a touchdown if they can make the field goal. So why do I get their kicker? Okay, Tommy Booker's out there. They're on the ball's on the 12-yard line, 7 for behind it, so that's 19. I don't count the 10 past there because in 64 I actually believe the goalposts were on here. So this will be a 19-yard field goal attempt by Brooker. I'm gonna get on the kicking chart. There's my phone over there. Okay. Time out because I can't find the chart again. Okay, here we go. Booker. Oh, 38 on the kick. From there, 38. And that kick is good. So there's a field goal. Timeout for some admin. Okay, Booker out there to kick off from the 30, kicking in this direction here. 24 and a kick, and that's a 20. Kick off from the 30 to the 20, that's 64 yards. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 64 yards. So Buffalo's 0-9. Oh no, I get the wrong kick return to 0-9. It's Ed Rudkowski. Rudkowski right here. Okay, and this is the kick return. So finally on the right chart, 55. This could be a good one. That's a return. It's 22. Kick return 22. That's a 16-yard return from the 6 to the 22. Okay. First and 10. Give Rudkowski a 16-yard return. Okay, so the score is we're on about halfway through the period, it looks like. I probably missed some of it. The score is 31-26. Buffalo needs a touchdown badly. Okay, here we go. Whoa, 65 right off the bat. And he's going long. This is the first long one we've had in the whole game. Let's see who he's going to be going long to. 5. Glenn Bass. We'll put that way up here since it's long to remind me of the long. Okay. Let's get to the right chart. And here we go. With the wrong charts again. Boy, oh boy, I got to do something to learn these charts. Okay, I got the right chart now. I'm going long pass between the offenses 49 and 15. That's right there. Okay, and so we're doing long. We're going to Glenn Bass. Let's check the defense. 34, 34. And it's an AG. Okay, now we're going to Kemp. Oh, look at this. Look at this. 3 AG long. And that's a, wait a minute, no, 3, I said. Yeah, that's a 3 AG long. That is another long touchdown for Jack Kemp. Go figure that. Timeout. That was the 5th time he went to Bass in the whole entire game, and he's 2 for 5 the Bass. So here's Gogolak out here now for the extra point. He has shown that he can miss one. 24, 39, 39. And that kick is good. So they get 7 more. Oh, it's 20. So now it's 33 to 31 in favor of Buffalo. And Gogolek's going to be kicking off to Kansas City. Okay, here we go. 45, 39, 68 to 09. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 68. Dave Grace. Dave Grayson. OAK, here we go. Grayson. 16 is 25. 25 is a 13-yard return from the 2. So we're out to the 15 now. Half a minute off the clock. Len Dawson and company comes back out again. With the Bills now leading. What an exciting game this turned out to be, folks. Okay, I'm just looking real close. I'm going to make sure I was recording. All right, here we go. Dawson. 15, they're going inside. Yeah. They got plenty of time to get down or to work this down. They're going the hill again inside. 42 on the run is a CS. 15. And 15. Always get on the right chart. 15 CS. Whoa. 14-yard gain. Here they come again. 14. That's going to go out to the 29. 30 sign. It's going to be first down again. But that was Hill again rushing. Starting to get some good numbers up there. Okay, 1st and 10. I hope I marked off the minute again. I got to try to remember to do that right off the bat. 61. He's going medium this time. Going medium to 4, which is Fred Arbanis, the tight end. Okay, Arbanis is A, so it could be an adjustment. 51. Nope, it's AD. AD, Dawson. 26. 18. Medium, 18. AD, it's incomplete. It's marked at the time. It's half a minute there. I'll move it to 2nd down. We'll give Dawson an incomplete and Arbanis an incomplete. It's only the 3rd time he's thrown to Arbanis this game. And so my system that I'm working out here seems to be working okay, but I'm going to give you more stats at the end of the game. All right, here we go. The 2nd and 10. 62 is going medium again. See who wants to throw to this time. 6. It's Reggie Caroline, medium. Let's check the defense. You can't hardly see that when I put that there. I'm sorry. The whole game I put it there thinking you could see it. Okay, the defense is 22, which is a BD. Okay, BD. Go to Dawson. 52. No, 28. Medium 28. BD. That's a 7-yard sack. Dawson sack for 7 yards. Get a full minute off of that one. Let's move this back 7 yards. 4, 5, 6, 7. That was first down. I think, yeah. So now it's 2nd and 17. Dawson was sacked. Okay, 2nd and 17. It's gonna mix these charts up out here. 31. They're going screen on this one. Okay, let's see how they're going screen to 6. There is no 6 in the screen. That's right. So 5, okay. We're going screen, which is short to Fred Jackson. Let's go. 61. BS. Jackson's an A, so I'm just going to make that an AS. 26. 18. AS. Short. 18. AS. And that is incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd down. Half a minute off. And then we got Dawson again, incomplete. And Jackson. Okay, 3rd and 17. That's going to be using one of these charts way over there. Here it's going to be a run this time. I'll pass this side. 3rd and 17, and it's a 51. It's a medium pass. And they're throwing a medium pass to 4. Caroline. Okay, let's check the defense. Oh, 66. That's a CD, and he's a C, so that's not going to change that at all. Okay, and here we go with Dawson. 12, 27, medium. And he's scrambling. Dawson is scrambling. There's a big R on the chart there. Dawson scrambles. 15. His runs an 11. Outside run of 11 on a C. What is it? On a CD. 11 CD, and that's a 1-yard gain. Okay, so Dawson got 1 yard rushing that time. It's 4th down, and they're going to have to punt. They can't take a chance this close. They get their defense out there and hold, try to see if they can stop them. Okay. And their punter is Gerald Wilson. Okay. Funding from the offenses from middle chart. Okay, Wilson. 51. That's a 6. That's probably a boomer. 44 yards, and then D10 is going to 44%. We got 7, 17, 27, 37, 42, 43, 44. Let's give him his 44-yard kick. Get it off here. And we're going to get the Horace Clark out for the return. Okay. Well, what's going on here? Oh, all the way on the bottom. There we go. Horace Clark on the return. And this is a punt return. 42. 19. That's an 11-yard return for Clark. Okay, so we got 7. 4 is 11. Give Clark is 11 yards. Let's get half a minute on the play. And let's get Kemp and offense out there. They want to try to roil this down. There is a way on this chart. I haven't used it in so long that you can actually, when you get within 2 minutes or something like that. Okay, if you're fourth quarter and you got the lead, you can do D's and D's. There's a special situation chart where you're going to do a lot of running and so forth like that. And so, with this time, they would like to do some running. So they're gonna try to use the special situation chart. Show you what that guy says. It's over here, and it tells you when you can use them. Like they got the lead with fourth quarter, not by 8, but just the lead, so they can use the choices. The time under 3 minutes is under 3 minutes. No. If it's 10, there's no choice right yet. They're in the 10 to 15 minute mark, so there is no choice, but it's dictated about the time. So that's pretty cool. All right, so here we go. Kemp gets him gets him in the huddle. Oh boy, and he's going along right off the bat. Right off the bat, he's going along. He wants to try to put the icing on the cake, I guess. It's going to 3. This is going to the Warlick. I put the longs up here to remember him. Okay, let's check the defense. 66, it's a C, D. Boy, I threw 2 back-to-back 66s. I wish I could do that in APBA baseball. CD. Okay, let's go to Kemp. 16. In the pass, we got 25. I'm going to flip over to the long chart. Oh, timeout. These charts are not working out again. Okay, I found it. So we got 25 on the CD long. 25. C, D. Oh, W71. I believe that is an interception. Timeout. Okay, and it was interception. That's Kemp's 3rd interception of the game. Let's go to W71, see what we got going here. I'd throw another 66. How do you like that? 66, 71. So that was long. Okay, so this is going to make sense. It was 69 yards downfield. It's going to be into the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted and safety. Wow. 69 yards down there and an interception. Timeout. The coach is having a serious discussion with Kemp over there, saying, "We'll let you give you the freedom to call your own plays, but in the game, long, when we're trying to run the clock down, intercepted in the end zone, ah, ay. 69. If it would have been further, it might have been incomplete, but it was in the end zone." Okay. So here we go. Then Dawson. 1st and 10. Let's see what that special chart says for them. They're trailing in the 4th by, what did I say it was? 33 to 20. 33 31. They're only trailing by 2. So they can't do nothing until 3 minutes either. All right, here we go. Dawson. 16. They're going inside. They've had some luck running inside today, so they're going to try it again. One, it's the Abner Haynes. That's their main man. Okay, check the defense. 41. It's a AS. Okay, back to Hayes. I got to get the right chart out on the book, but I'll get it in a second. 52. 52 is a 26 on the AS. Inside 26 AS, and that's a 2-yard gain for Haynes. But the clock takes off a full minute on the clock. Makes it 2nd and 8. Two-yard for Hayes. Okay, 2nd and 8. 52. I'm going short. This time we're going to Fred Jackson. Defense 14. The BG. He's an A, so it's an AG. Dawson 15. It's a 6 AG. Short. Short 6 AG. 18 yards and then out of bounds. But the clock doesn't stop because we're not in the final 2 minutes. But they got 18. 18. Full minute. First down. Here we go. 23. 23 is an inside run again. Abner Haynes. The defense 42. CS. Uh-oh, 55. I don't like that. That's a 15 inside CS. 15 inside CS. That's another 18-yard gallop for Abner Hayes. They're coming down. 18 Hayes. I think I marked the minute off. Boy, it's got to be the first thing I do. Got to be the first thing. Okay. Wish this was a little bit better. Okay, it's first down. 25. They're going outside this time. And they're going outside to Hill, Mac Hill. The defense. 13 is a CS. Uh-oh, don't like that one either. This is 4. Outside 4. CS. 5 yards. Okay, mark play. Then the yardage. 2nd and 5. I'm going to give Hill 5 yards rushing. Okay. 2nd and 5. 53. Going short. 6. Fred Arbanis. The tight end. Let's check the defense. 44. It's VD. He's an A, so it's an AD. 23. 29. 29 short AD. And that's a 4-yard sack for Dawson. So we're getting the 1 minute on the clock. It's going to be third down. Minus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Third and 9. So Dawson with another loss. Another sack. I am recording sacks too well in this game. All right. But I'll figure out how to do that at a different time. Okay, here we go. Third down. Third and 9. 41. Third and 9. 41. They're going short. Makes sense. They're going short this time to Caroline. And the defense is 65, which is BS. He's a C, so it stays at BS. And we're going to Dawson. 21. It's a 17, short. BS. BS. That is incomplete. I'm out. Okay, they contemplated a 48-yard field goal, but when I look at these charts, a 40 to 49-yard field goal, boy, you can't even make them. Okay, so they're going to go for fourth down. Timeout for the stupid phone. Okay, it is 4th and 9. Here they go. 4th and 9. I'm sure it's going to be some sort of pass. 31. Get over to the chart 31, and it's a short pass. It's apropos. This time they're passing to Frank Jackson, short. The defense. 53. CS. He's an A, so he's going to raise it to a BS. Okay, Dawson. 52. It's 28. Right page. Short. 28 BS. No, that's not going to be very good. That's not good. He's going to be sacked again. Sacked for 4-yard loss again. Terrible, terrible timeout. Okay, so the Bills are taking over with 6.5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to have to close this curtain in a second here. It's getting too much sun glare. All right. And Warren Kemp about doing that shit again. 55, so he comes out and he's going to be throwing. He's throwing short anyway. Says I don't want to throw another interception. 5, throwing short to Arbanis. Oh, wrong guys are out here. Five. Short to Glenn Bass with that big lump breakaway one a while back there. Okay, let's check the defense. 66, that's a CD. He's an A, so it makes it a BD. Oh, that's right. I get the wrong card up there too. Boy. It makes it the same. It's a BD. Oh. Okay, and let's see who they're throwing to short. 5. Albert Dubenian. Defense. 31. CS, he's an A, so it's going to be a BS. Count. 63. 29 short. BS. And Kemp is sacked for 6 yards. Wow. Second and 16. Second and more than 11. Not 56. It's going medium. So just seeing who he's throwing to. He's throwing the 3 this time. Glenn Bass. Medium. Check the defense. 26. BS. Bass is an 8, so it makes that an AS. 35. Okay, 13. Medium AS. Medium AS. 13. Medium AS. F42. The penalty? Oh, timeout. I checked. Yeah, we're going to go to the Holbrook card. 65 in the run. Is it 28? And the fumble return chart, 28. And it is no return. He stopped right where it was. Timeout, admin. Kansas City sure is getting their opportunities. Buffalo blowing it up here. Okay, here they're back out on there for 1st and 10. There is 5 minutes left in the game. And they're trailing by 2. Now they got to get the ball under 3. Okay, 55 coming out, throwing right off the bat, throwing short. Throwing to Arbanis. Okay, let's check the defense. 64 is a CS. He's an A, so that makes it a BS. Okay, we're going to Dawson. 23. 29. Never have my charts ready. 29 short. BS. Boy, it's another 6-yard loss for Dawson. Sack. Takes a whole minute off the clock. 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2nd and 16. See what this chart does for them here. 55. They're going medium this time. It's a 5. Going to Caroline, medium. Let's check the defense. 26 is BS. Caroline's a C, so that's not going to change it. It's a BS. Going to Dawson. Uh-oh, 22. So not 22 is a 5. We're going medium. 5 BS. 25 yards and out of bounds. We're not in the last 4. Yeah, we are in there. That last one. So that out of bounds will only count as a half a play because we're in the last 4 minutes of the APBA. But we got 25 yards. 3, 13, 23, 24, 25. It's going to be 1st down. Okay, and that was Dawson, Caroline. Okay, here we go. 1st down. 65. Holy tamale, what are they doing here? They're going long. They can't do long inside the 30, so it's going to be a medium. 3. So medium past Arbanis. Check the defense. 62, it's AS. That's what it'll stay in AS. Awesome. 14. 34. Medium. 34. AS. This is S. This we got the F42. So it's going to be a fumble, I believe, again. Timeout. Yeah, it was a fumble backwards, minus 7 yards, like the ball was knocked out of Dawson's hands. But it was also recovered by the offense. And I keep closing the charts before I can read everything. It's recovered by 6. Dave Hill, the right tackle. Yeah. Time. Okay, so we're going to Dave Hill's card. 54. And his run is a 36. We're going to go into fumble return 36. 0, and then the TK, which I think is a penalty. Timeout, I'm getting everything here. Okay, so if I'm reading this right, we're going to the K chart under the penalties. We're going to roll on it. Going to get a 65. That's a 7. So it's a penalty on the offense. And number 7 was holding. It's 10 lines from the offense. No, they're just going to keep that play. So what happened? That was offense. The Buffalo declined the penalty because of the loss in that. So it is going to be a second down and 16. Second and 16. All right. Second and 16. They ended at 3 minutes. Yeah, they are in that 3 minutes. 3 minutes or less. They can use the D if they want, but they wouldn't want to do that because that morale runs. Okay, so here we go. Second, 16, 62. Okay, Dawson's going medium. So Arbanis. Yeah. Defense, 34. It's BG. Arbanis is an A, so it's an AG. 44, don't like that. 6, medium. I'm on the wrong chart again. Okay. 6, medium, AG. That's 28 yards downfield to Arbanis. Wow. From the 35, they are down to the 7-yard line. First and goal from the 7-yard line. It counts as a half. All right. A half. Because we're in the last 4 minutes. I'll have to double check that when I replay it or check this game out. So here comes Dawson again. Now we might want to use the D. Run some clock off. See if he can get in for the touchdown. Yeah, he's going to use the D this time. Now he can use the specialty. He's trailing by 2. Oh, he's got to use a B. Okay, so B. Yeah, that one looks okay too. All right, here we go. 24 in the B. 24. Okay, he's going short. The 5. Caroline. 46 is BS. Caroline's a C, so it'll remain a BS. 23. It's 29. Short BS. And he is sacked for 6 yards again. Wow. Second down. Go back to 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's second and goal from out there. Mark the time off. 2 minutes left in the game. Okay. They're going to use that B chart again. No, yeah, B chart with an asterisk. What does the asterisk mean? Timeout. Okay, he can use the offense on this one, but on third down he has to use the normal call. That's what that asterisk means. So here we go. 31 on the B. It's going short again. This time it's going short to Frank Jackson. The defense. 43 is a CG. And he's an A, so to make that a BG. 32. Oh boy, 2. Short 2 BG. It's 40. It says 47 yards. Now, here's a question to play. If I threw 47 yards, he'd be out of the end zone, so that would be incomplete. And that's the way I'm going to play it. It's got to be in. It's got to be inside of the yards. It can't be just completed on anything. Timeout. I read the APBA rules. First of all, I was on the wrong chart, and that rule would have said it would have gone anyway. It's on the wrong chart, so I had to switch back to this chart between the defenses 10 and 30, and it ends up being a scramble. All right, so now we're doing a scramble on Dawson. Running 2. It's a 3, and it was a B or AD. AD 2. And it's a touchdown. He's going to touchdown anyway. My goodness, how did that all work out, folks? Anyway, that is a touchdown. Dawson scrambles for 13 yards and a touchdown. Wow. Okay. Text that off. Bill's going to get the ball with very limited time left. But we got to get your kicker out there now for an extra point. I get a little, trying not to get a little frustrated myself as I am learning. I'm going to learn this game. Booker's the kicker. Okay, we're going for the extra point. 52, that's 41. And the kick is good. So I got 7 more, 10. So with 1.5 minutes left in the game, 38 to 33. Booker is kicking off. All you APBA guys are sticking with me on this. I'm going to learn this. I like the game. I really do. It's just the charts. There's so many things I forget to do. But here we go with the kickoff. All right. From the 3rd. 46. That's a 7. It's going 64 yards and then 9's getting it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 64. Yeah, they're 9. Should be Rutkowski. It is. Zed Rutkowski. Do the return. Ooh, 66. We got a 4. Kick return on a 4. 67 yards for Rakowski. Wow, what a game this is turning out to be. Takes up half of it's going to take up half of that minute though. 67. Okay, so we're at the 6. That's 44 out to here. 54. 64. 1, 2, 3. 67 yards. It's 1st and 10. Here they come back out there. Okay, what did I say the final score? What the score was? It's 24, 28, 38 to 33. So they're down by 5. They trade with 4 to 6. They can use the C column, and they're going to use the C. Okay. Okay, first down. Kemp back. C. 51. Okay, C. Whoa, he's going long. I didn't want him to do that, but I guess I called it, didn't I? So he's going along. Let's see who he's going to. 1, he's going to Glenn Bass long. Let's check the defenses. 65. AS. Okay, Kemp. 34. And again, I don't have the right charts out, so let me get the right charts. Well, I don't understand why. Okay, so I'm going to be using the long chart, and it says between the offenses 49 and the 15, which I thought would be back here. And the other one is between the defenses 30 and 50. And that's not one of them either. So what do you do? What do you use? This is not very simple to figure out. I'll use the between the offenses 49 and 50. The defense is 30 and 50. All right, so here we go. We got 34 on Kemp. That's what I just rolled. And it's a 35. And we're doing AS. All right, we got a AS. We got an incomplete and then a penalty. So the incomplete's going to take a half a minute anyway. And then we're going to TH for the penalty. 13. 6. That's a bold number penalty on the defense. 6. That's holding. That's on the defense. 5 yards from the line of scrimmage and the first down. Okay. And now I don't. My whole football thing is gone the heck because I can't remember. Yeah, they would have got the time would have still gone off the clock. All right, so there's 1 minute. They got one play left. All right, that's it. Here we go. This is between the offense. The defense is 10 and 30. Oh boy, I gotta figure out how to play this game with these charts. My goodness, baseball doesn't give me near the trouble. Okay, here we go. And they're using the B chart, is it? C chart. No, they're going to use regular. That figures 22. 1st and 5, 22 is an inside run. Okay, so that's going to be, they're just trying to catch them to 2. It's on Bobby Smith. The defense is 52. Is a CD. 50 long. This is 16 inside CD, 16 CD. CD is a 7-yard run for Smith, and that'll be the end of the game. So timeout. I'll be back with some stats for you. Okay. One thing before I forget, I'll ask you the thing. I'm thinking very seriously, and the APBA rule says those no matter how far the pass goes, it's considered a touchdown. Uh, and I'm not sure. The next time I play, I'm going to play it. Well, like if it throws it from the 15 to here, that would be 35 yards. He would have, or 25 yards, not 40 or 50. Just like in real play, if it was down here, it'd be an incomplete pass. So we'll see how that plays. But here's how final was 38-33. It was an exciting game. I guess one of the big things we had an 84-yard punt return by Hunt for Kansas City. That was probably the biggest difference in the game. But for Kansas City, Len Dawson ended up 17 for 29 for 265 yards, 2 interceptions, and threw for 2 touchdowns. Jackie Kemp was throwing wild. But he was 16 for 40 for 424 yards, but 4 interceptions. That was a big difference in the game there too. So those numbers are, I can live with those numbers. And then on the rushing for Kansas City, Marcus Hill was 11 carries for 58 yards. Abner Hayes, who had the big 88-yard run, was 10 carries for 129 yards. Can live with that. Then for Buffalo, Bobby Smith had 8 carries for 51 yards, and Cookie Gilchrist had 12 carries for 53 yards. Receiving, the top receiver for Kansas was Hayes, who was targeted 6 times, 6 complete, 72 yards. Caroline was targeted the most. He was targeted 8 with 5 completions for 88 yards for them. Over here for Buffalo, highest targeted guy was Ernie Warlick 14 times, but he was only only completed 14 times, but it was 128 yards because he had an 81-yard touchdown there. Then the next total complete was Dubenion was targeted 8 times, 4 completions, 129 yards for the speedster. And let's see what we got here. We got Gogolak kicked 2 field goals, and there the kicker Brooker kicked 1. So please put down remarks. What things you saw me doing wrong, the things you saw me that I could do better, or help me play the game better. I'm enjoying the game. This is not going to be the last time you see it. It takes a long time, so it's only going to be like the fourth quarter of each game that's recorded. So go down there, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, push this out into your social media channels, help the channel grow some more. SoCalSabre saying thanks for stopping by. Take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and stay safe.